A night guard seems to be terrified as he is running nervously in the woods, and when he reaches the road, a car accidentally runs him over. A police officer named Jamie is called to investigate the forensic center where the guard was working. When they check the morgue, one corpse has disappeared. The missing body belongs to a 42-year-old woman named Micah who just died of a heart attack that afternoon. When they check the security cameras, all of them were out except for one. They see that something caught the guard's attention, so he went upstairs, but moments later, he goes running away scared. The control room is locked and the codes were changed, so they called in the technicians to figure it out. Micah is a rich and powerful woman who is married to a younger man named Alex, the director of a pharmaceutical company she owns. Alex is mourning to his wife's death as his sister tries to comfort him. Later that night, he rides his motorcycle and goes to a discreet apartment. It turns out that Alex is having an affair with a young woman named Carla. It is also revealed that he killed his wife as he tells his mistress that they are now free. Moments later, Alex receives a call from the police, telling him about the disappearance of his wife's body. Carla asks if he is sure that his wife was dead, and Alex is certain. His mistress gives him a drink to calm him down, and Alex says he must go there to avoid suspicion. At the forensics office, Jamie tells Alex that someone must have hated his wife so much and desired to harm her even after she was dead. Alex says his wife does not have enemies, and so does he. While the officers are away, Alex calls his mistress and asks her to get information about the night guard in the hospital. Carla says she had an internship there before, so she knows some people. A while later, the forensic interviews Alex, and he says that his wife has fear of flying. The officer says the stress on her flight from LA might have triggered her cardiac arrest. However, she is curious because Micah's medical record didn't show any cardiovascular risk. The police ask the forensic if it was possible that Micah was not really dead, and she tells them that she certified her death, but she is also considering that possibility. However, Jamie firmly believes that Micah was actually dead and her body was taken, but the only question is why. The forensic officer says cardiac arrest can be induced by a substance, but they can't verify it because they haven't autopsied the body yet. And since the body is missing, there is no autopsy. They then suspiciously look at Alex. While Alex is arguing with the police to let him leave, the power suddenly goes out. When the officer leaves him, Alex goes to the morgue where his wife went missing. He finds the box that contains Micah's personal things, but one pouch seems to be empty. In her locker, Alex finds a bottle labeled TH16. It was the substance he put into his wife's wine, which could have induced her cardiac arrest. He gives it to his wife who just arrived from LA. Micah asks him to spend time with her since they've been apart for 3 weeks, but Alex declines, saying the lab needs him. His wife told him that he's the director, so no one can fire him except her. Micah drinks the wine and Alex peeks at the mirror to make sure that she drank it all. Back to present, Alex is terrified seeing the TH16 in the morgue, and when the lights went back, he hurriedly hides the bottle in his pocket. Moments later, the police arrive and ask Alex what is he doing in the morgue. They see the box of Micah's personal things, and an officer says it is supposed to be in the locker which has been forcefully opened. They learn that the phone has been missing, so Jamie frisks Alex, and that's when he finds the bottle. The husband says he just found it in the ground, but the officer notes that it has their lab seal. Jamie asks what is TH16 for, and Alex says he does not know because it is not his specialty. His mistress later calls, and Alex tells the police that it is just his sister. Carla tells him what she learned about the guard, and since the officers are listening, Alex quickly ends the conversation and hangs up. He later goes to the bathroom to call Carla, and he tells her that someone is trying to implicate him because the TH16 he used appeared at the morgue. Carla is scared and says it must be a trap by the police, but Alex is confident that only the two of them know the truth. His mistress assures him that she hasn't told anyone. Alex is about to leave the bathroom when he notices an envelope at the window. It is a dinner invitation, and behind is handwritten phrase that says, "I close my eyes and you're still with me." The dinner invitation was the one that the couple missed because Alex did not come home last night. Alex says there was a setback at work that he couldn't leave, but Micah says she called the lab and was told that her husband was not there since afternoon. Alex makes another alibi, and though Micah is already suspicious, she just ignores it and still reconciles with her husband. That night, while his wife is sleeping, Alex receives a text from his mistress, the exact same phrase written behind the invitation. Alex starts to think that his wife saw the text and she is the one who's trying to implicate him. The technicians already figured out the new passcode to the control room, and when they get inside, they found the air duct leading to the rooftop, to which the body snatcher could have sneaked in. Meanwhile, outside the emergency stairs, one officer has found a footprint. Jamie asks Alex if 20th of March, 2012 means anything to him, and the man answers no. The officer says someone changed the calendar to that date, and it is also the new code set in the control room door. Alex looks terrified because it is the exact same security code he set at his laboratory. While he is putting the TH-16 in the fridge, Micah suddenly appears, scaring him. His wife reveals that she saw the code he used at the door, and she asks why did he chose that date. Alex says it was the date that they had an argument. Micah later surprises her husband with a new motorcycle, the one that Alex has always wanted. Back at the forensic center, Jamie speculates that Micah's body was transferred through the service elevator. As they are going down, the lift suddenly stops while the sprinklers and fire alarm goes off. They run towards the exit, but Alex stops to call Carla. Alex believes that Micah is really alive and she wants to incriminate him. Carla tells him to leave now, and before Alex hangs up, he tells his mistress, "I love you." Unbeknownst to him, Jamie is right behind, listening. Alex says it is his sister who was calling, but the officer does not believe this, and he asks for the man's phone. However, they were not able to get anything because Alex has been calling an unlisted number. Jamie is smoking outside, and he remembers many years ago when he arrived at that forensic center with bruises on his face. He hurriedly goes inside, and he sobs as he watches the dead body of his wife. Although this has been many years ago, the pain still seems fresh in Jamie's memory. His fellow officer later arrives carrying expense reports of Micah. They also learn from the report that TH-16 is a toxin that can induce cardiac arrest after 8 hours and leaves no trace. Jamie then confronts Alex, accusing him of killing his wife with the TH-16 and stealing her body so there would be no autopsy. Alex denies this and says it is absurd to kill someone with TH-16 and bring the bottle there. It also does not make sense to steal the body because the toxin is undetectable in autopsy. Jamie mourned his wife for years, so he feels strange that Alex looks calm despite his wife's sudden death. Alex denies this and says he loved Micah and he mourned her death. That's when Jamie reveals the expense report of Micah, which shows that she hired a detective months ago. The officer's theory is that his wife has suspicion of his affair. This could lead to divorce, leaving Alex with nothing. Alex later goes to the bathroom and calls his mistress. Carla says she received an envelope with a flash drive containing photos of the two, proving their affair. It also has a wiretap recording of when Alex told his mistress that he has already poisoned his wife. Alex believes that Micah sent this evidence because she already knew everything from her detective. Carla is scared and she feels that someone is following her. Outside her apartment, a car suddenly appears and runs toward her, seemingly running her over. Alex rushes to leave the building, but Jamie stops him. He is mad as he pushes the officer, and Jamie hits him, making him unconscious. The next morning, Alex finally confesses everything. He starts by talking about his affair with Carla, his student whom he met at the university where he was teaching. They quickly got close and started seeing each other every day, until they finally did it. However, Carla got tired of hiding their affair, so she stopped seeing him. Alex is already obsessed with her, so he tells his mistress that he will leave Micah to be with her. However, he knows that if he divorces his wife, Micah will ruin him and leave him with nothing. Carla pressured him to leave his wife until Alex finally came up with his horrid plan of killing Micah. Jamie asks why does he believe that his wife is still alive, and Alex thinks that Micah already knew everything from her detective, so perhaps she switched the glasses without him noticing. She then faked her death and planted the evidence at the morgue to make sure that Alex would be implicated. Jamie gets a call from a fellow officer who says that they found plans of the morgue at Alex's house. In his car, they also found a ski mask, shovel, and shoes that matched the footprints outside the morgue's emergency stairs. And in his bedroom, they found an unregistered gun which has been fired recently. Jamie also receives another call from another officer who says that the night guard regained consciousness and has already told them what happened that night. The security cameras went off, so he goes upstairs to check it. That's when he saw the body in the elevator. A man in ski mask shoots him, making him run away until he gets hit by a car. The bullets found upstairs match the gun found in Alex's house. Alex denies all of this and says Micah hired a man to help her and fake her disappearance. He asks the officers' help to find Carla because she can help him prove his story. While on their way to the police station, an officer tells them that they found a body beside the road. Alex is afraid that it might be his mistress. However, when they open the body bag, it is actually his wife, Micah. That's when Jamie reveals that there is no Carla living in the address that Alex gave. The apartment has been vacant for years. They also checked the university where he worked, but the mistress he described does not exist. Jamie believes that Alex invented Carla to give him courage to kill his wife and keep her money. Jamie orders the others to leave now and clear the road. When he is about to take Alex away, the man hits him and runs away. But then he suddenly collapses to the ground until Jamie catches up with him. The officer kicks him, and that's when he tells him his story. Jamie recalls the time when he was driving with his wife, and when they crossed the intersection, a speeding car crashed into them. Their daughter was in their car too, but she was fine. His wife, however, is heavily injured. The car that hit them quickly drove off, and Jamie failed to get their plate number. But years later, her daughter remembered it, and Jamie found out it was Alex and Micah's car. The officer shows him the picture of his daughter, and it is Alex's mistress whose real name is Eva. Eva was mad at her mother's killers, so she made Alex madly fall in love until he decided to get rid of his wife for her. Jamie reveals that Micah never hired a detective and it was him and his daughter who took her body and planted evidence at the morgue. He also reveals that Eva put a drop of the TH16 on Alex's glass before he headed to the forensic center. And since it has already been 8 hours since he drank it, Alex is about to get into a cardiac arrest. Jamie watches him in satisfaction, for after 10 years, his revenge has finally been served cold. Tick-tock. Did you like our movie recap? Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. To be updated for new movie recaps, hit the notification bell.